Last time on the Tales from Tenrei. As the celestial confluence reaches its conclusion, the helping hands enjoy the remaining festivities on the final days of the festival. They have had their fortunes read, each revealing profound insights into their pasts and potentially their futures. They engage in a poignant and enriching experience, listening to the life stories of several seasoned aethernauts who have braved the wonders and perils of the multiverse. Amidst this sharing of tales, they introduce themselves to Victor Flint, a captain with a history of sailing through the Lawless Tumult, whose insights and experiences will likely prove invaluable in their future endeavors. As the festivities come to a close and the group departs the festival grounds, they find themselves once again hauled into the mysterious booked dimension of the enigmatic jester. Making good on his promise, he answers two questions the party has in exchange for the extra-dimensional objects they collected at the festival. They ask for the locations of the remaining artifacts, as well as what the high-tech did once with Foravial's mysterious polyhedron. With their mind expanded and their perspectives altered, they returned to their offices. Outside, snowflakes gently fall, casting a peaceful silence over the city. But the tranquility is short-lived as a knock on the door shatters the stillness, signaling that their journey is far from over. What challenges await them on the way to Viturn? What dangers will they face once they arrive at the lawless planet? And what mysteries lie on the other side of their front door? Find out on today's exciting episode of the Tales from Tenrei.
There is a knock on the front door. You guys are all well rested, having been magically whisked away into your beds, those of you who sleep. The rest of you who do not sleep are still well rested because you don't have to rest.
I'm probably up there getting my cup of tea anyways. Perhaps I answer.
You open the door and there is a little package, a box wrapped in a red foil with a tag tied around it and Oracola brand plastering all over it.
Hey, read the thank you note. Dear valued customer, your dedication and enthusiasm for trying the latest flavors of Oracola at our stand at the Celestial Confluence has been greatly appreciated. As an avid Oracola customer, we hope you will enjoy this complimentary gift package of an assortment of the newest flavors of Oracola, as well as the ever-popular classic flavor. You will also find 6 star caps enclosed that entitle you and 5 friends to VIP packages at Aura World. Look forward to your continued patronage. We hope to see you at the busiest place in the charted, Oracola.
When you open the package to see what's inside, a little programmed illusion starts up. There's a little magical image of a bottle cap with big cartoony hands dancing back and forth, displaying the little star chart of where Aura World is in the Corporate Alliance.
Terrifying.
Thanks for enjoying Oracola! I'm Cappy!
I am visibly disturbed by this.
Yeah.
But also curious.
God, it feels like we should put everything on pause so we can go to Oracola World. Lives are in the balance and we're like, we should go to Aura World.
Aura World is here in the Great Charted. Aura World was once a barren, rocky world. The Oracola Corporation used its vast wealth gained from the popularity and addictive qualities of their various flavors of drink. While some of the planet's surface is dedicated to the production and distribution of Oracola, the majority of it houses the largest theme park in the Charted. For a nominal price, fans of Oracola can vacation there and experience an entire world of flavor, trademark. Despite the inflated prices and omnipresent advertisement, Aura World is the most popular tourist destination in civilized space.
Hey,
For
and you
good
know
reason,
what?
I'm sure.
Vol is right above it, and that's the location of one of the artifacts. One of the 4 remaining artifacts.
Tycho's still wearing his I Heart Archaeology pajamas onesie. If we're gonna get moving, we need to change.
Gideon walks out, steaming still with the cold air. So, what we got on the agenda for today? Now that the confluence is over, we got our business cards out there.
Well, I think we need to. Absolutely secure ourselves a captain so that we can be on our way.
Well, we got that one guy, right?
I believe he dropped by. Well, dropped his card off afternoon of the last day of the confluence.
Really? What did he say?
His ship's moored down by the docks.
What do you think of him?
Seemed a friendly enough sort. Weird to see a dwarf without a beard.
Weird indeed. Who's gonna call up that? Who'd like to call up that nice gentleman? Or shall we just go drop by?
You guys head down to the docks. Vic Flint sitting in a corner. He's got a little cup with some whiskey, one large ice cube in it. In his other hand, he's got a cigarette. His hat is tilted down. Dramatic lighting shadows over his face as he sits in the corner, slowly dragging on it, a cloud of smoke hanging in the air over him.
I'd like to whip up a bowl of good berries. Little good berries, like as if they're jelly beans. I'm gonna Reagan this guy, like Ronald Reagan style.
You conjure a bowl of berries that are good. Walk over, the two of you. As you approach, Vic says, Well. I suppose that you've got some sort of important questions to be asking for me. Well, I'm here to answer them.
I tell him that his story really spoke to us at the confluence, and that his story arc of his dark past and his path to redemption would fit in really fine with our own band of adventurers, and we could give him a means of fulfilling his journey.
Yes, the helping hands. He reaches into his jacket and pops a little manila envelope with some papers inside of it down on the table. I've heard quite a few things about you. Did some digging after I encountered you at the festival. Seems like you've been into some interesting bits of business, although lately you've been a bit off the radar. Care to tell me what that's about?
I assure you, only some of those stories are true. The good ones. I mean, those are the ones that are true.
From what I've heard, general gist is your little group here is a net positive for the people of Tenrei and the Chartered at large.
We try to be.
Well, it seems that you're succeeding. Have a seat. So, if I was a betting man, and on the occasion I have been, I'd say that you were interested in something to do with the Lawless Tumult. Given the story that I told and the interest that you took in it, can I hazard to say that this guess is not incorrect?
So you guys, should we just go ahead and tell him what this is all about? Just lay it all on the table?
He's probably gonna figure out in due time.
Yeah, you know what, you're right, he'll figure it out. So Lynx is all right, here's the thing, and then just lays it all out. Basically, how we were able to best those pirates and how we were able to find that information, so thus proving ourselves capable against their forces, and how we're following up on that to sort of, make sure that this artifact or whatever is in safe hands, and both by doing so and in the process make the celestial, just everywhere a better place. We help. That's what we do.
Now, understand that I'm not opposed. Your cause seems noble enough, but significant drain on our resources and time. What say we cut something of a deal? Seeing as how the Helping Hands and the Second Chance seem to be in similar businesses, what would you say to provisionally joining the crew? Do any of you have any specialized abilities or skills that might be useful on a spelljammer? I want to just put you to work doing something that you're not good at.
I lived on a spelljammer for decades. I worked just about every job. Whatever job was needed.
Well, it sounds like you might be able to help out swabbing cabin boy stuff. All right, who else?
I have some particular skills that allow crew to get in places they may not otherwise be allowed through certain documents, requisition, and altering.
I suppose that Zox wouldn't mind an additional weapon specialist there.
Got navigate.
Gally would certainly appreciate the ability to switch shifts with someone. Not to mention that you're a human. I'm sure that Hugh would be very interested to meet another human.
I can drive small space vehicles.
A backup helmsman, Sindar will be pleased to have the assistance.
I can heal people.
Oh, healer. You might be able to assist Dr. Gullet. Although, and he looks you up and down briefly, make sure to keep any of that divine magic away from her. She's what you might call allergic. I'll tell you what then. Seems like we can make use of all of your talents and skills, no one freeloading on the ship. I certainly wouldn't mind helping you with your quest as long as you're willing to adhere to our tenets and pitch in when you're needed. Now, I'm not going to charge you for fare, of course, but I will ask that you gather whatever supplies and equipment you need. We run a tight ship. Gather what you need and meet back here tomorrow. Tomorrow around noontime. I'll introduce you to the crew and get you shuttled. He finishes his whiskey, taps it down on the table, and tips his hat to you. I'll see you then. Pleasure. And he, collar up, walks out into the snow.
That went very well.
You guys meet up with Vic the next day, and he shows you to it is a smaller vessel. It's got full-on propeller on the back of it. He gets you guys in. Welcome to the Goldfish. This will take us to the ship proper. The Goldfish looks like a submarine, like a brass-colored submarine. It's got a little periscope and everything, but it is not large by spelljamming standards. You guys get in, and it is a short trip to his ship proper, the Second Chance, which is a little further out in orbit. The ship docks in. It fits into the Second Chance. There's clanking and clamping sounds as the ship attaches itself to itself, and the hatches hiss as the connections are all formally made. Welcome to the Second Chance. Let me just show you around a little bit. Right this way. If you'll follow me back here. He opens up a hatch, walks back to the cargo hold, and it's right down here.
Oh, who's this rowdy bunch of ruffians?
Here in the galley, or the mess and lounge, I suppose is what it's formally called, you see the following interesting individuals. Let me introduce you first to my first mate, Miss Bixby. And you see a well-dressed
Oh, they're cool.
goblin who addresses her monocle at you and says,
Ah, yes. Welcome to our fine ship, the Second Chance. I'm sure that you'll find your accommodations here rather enjoyable. I will be the one that you'll be reporting to directly for any sorts of assignments that might be required.
Vic says, I'll leave you to the rest of the introductions. I'll start setting us up to get underway. And removes himself from the room.
Well, let's see here. Allow me to introduce you to our helmsman, Sindar, the Sinewy.
Oh.
He flexes his muscles and arms and brings them up and says, Welcome to this ship. I'm sure that your contributions to our little gang here will be most appreciated.
I love him.
Little orb that's orbiting him glows bright as he expresses a positive emotion.
Yes, Sindar is quite enthusiastic. I understand that our gelatinous friend here will be helping him with spell jamming the helm. Next up, we have...
Well, suppose that'd be me. And a Kenku tips his hat to you. I'm Gally. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm the navigator here of this little vessel.
He's a coxsman.
Yes, and up next we have our bosun, our resident human, Hugh.
Hugh wiggles a little bit and branched hand tips his hat.
Hello, it's very nice to meet you.
Oh my god.
I understand that there is another human aboard. It would be my pleasure to meet. I very rarely get to meet others of my own kind.
I shake my hand out to the branches. I'm not a human, though, sorry. But nice to meet you anyway.
Let's see. Up next, I understand that you may have already been acquainted with our quartermaster, Spills the Soup.
Oh!
Hello, friend. It is good to see you again. Spills is quite pleased to be serving on the same ship. It will be nice to leave Tenrei again.
Ah, yes.
Allow me to introduce you to our resident surgeon, Dr. Gullet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice to meet.
I love them.
Forgive Dr. Gullet, she seems to be having some issues with her jaw today. Now, I understand our nurse practitioner in the area is someone of a divine magic. I will request that you keep your positive energies to a minimum when in the presence of Dr. Gullet. She's terribly allergic.
Bad vibes only.
And of course, we have our weapon master, Zox.
I love the peg leg.
Avast, you scurvy dogs! It's nice to meet ya! I'm hoping that you'll be able to actually pull your weight around here like unlike the last landlubbers that we had aboard.
The Second Chance is a Brass Koi class ship. The journey from Tenrei to the Tumult, taking the quickest route possible. So that should actually take about 25 days worth of journey to get to the Tumult itself. Once we get ourselves into that Tumult there, things are going to have to be a little bit more slow going. I understand that you've got an up-to-date map of the place. If you could just pass that over to my desk, I'll take a look at it and make sure that we got our course plotted safely. 25 days. 25 days of you guys becoming acquainted with and getting used to your positions on the ship. The ship is a well-oiled machine. The crew has worked together for a long time. They only recently lost their previous quartermaster, a Jinn, who unfortunately was called back to his home plane for some family emergency. It was a tearful farewell, but he parted on good terms. That is when Spills, who is constantly managing to wander his way into all sorts of situations, joined the crew. A little bit of camaraderie, getting used to things, but the rest of everyone works together very, very well. After 25 days of travel, you guys reach the Tumult. It is... At that point, though the Second Chance is a hardy ship, hardier than most that you've seen, perhaps uniquely so, it even is tossed about by the storm. Good thing that it is a self-encapsulated ship, otherwise that would be more of a problem than it is. I want everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm picturing Korak like on his back, like a sad little turtle that can't be righted.
Okay, it looks like just Korak is seasick.
Oh man.
It's gonna be, I want to say, disadvantage on Constitution stuff as you guys are Tokyo, drifting your way through this storm. Captain, we have some sort of strange distress signal. Well, let's see what we got here. And Vic pops over to the periscope and looks around. Miss Bixby, I want you to run a quick scan.
Very well. One moment, sir. It appears that there is some sort of ship caught in an eddy that's sending out a distress signal. It's not too far from here.
Do we recognize any of the markings on the ship?
It's not in view yet. Sindar can take us right there. Well, you know the drill, gang. Newbies, shoot up. We're gonna be seeing what we can do to help. The suits allow you to move at a speed of 20 through the ether if you are outside of a ship. They also give you 2 hours of breathable air. So you're not in danger of suffocating or anything, and you are able to move a little bit if you are not normally able to do so. You guys exit through the airlock as the goldfish pulls up beside. I say airlock, it's the goldfish. You exit through the top hatch as it nears a wreck of some sort. The ship is so far destroyed that it is impossible to tell what kind it was before. You guys drift out into the astral sea. There are pieces of hull. This is a eddy in the currents of the tumult, so it is relatively calm. The things aren't like being thrown apart any further than they are. In the distance to the south, you can see the strange glow coming from what looks like it might have been the front of the cabin. I want everyone to make for me a perception check real quick. First thing that you guys notice pretty immediately is these corpses floating.
Oh my.
They are robed cultists, or they were. They are quite dead at this point. As you your way through, there are crates and supplies and things. Tycho, it looks like as you were over there, you noticed a chest floating in the ether. Vravel, you also notice a chest which is also locked.
I'm gonna notify the rest of the crew. Found something. It's not dead.
I would like to roll. Ah, I see.
You rolled a 1.
That's fun. I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration for it.
Go for it.
'Cause that wasn't best.
While Lynx is doing that, Vraviel, this little thing behind you is the spell jamming helm, and it is what is sending out the distress signal.
Okay, so 22.
22. Okay, yes. This time you do not. You almost break your pick, but oops, it's okay. The chest unlocks itself, and that one you can now get to the inside of.
Can I examine one of these bodies, the one that's right next to me, just to kind of... What I'm trying to get a sense of is, like, was it exposure that killed them, or was there something else that killed these people?
Yeah, sure. Roll. Medicine or survival? Let me see. Give me survival. 23. All right. So this, at least the body next to you, looks like it was in very rough condition, but still alive before he died of exposure. Your suits allow you to move. These guys don't have any sort of locomotion capable stuff on them, so once they got tossed from the ship, but it looks like, he's got abrasions and cuts and probably some broken bones given the weird angles that some of his limbs are at. So something happened, which, there's a ship blown apart here. So obviously something happened before he was tossed free of the ship where he died.
Does the ship look like it was wrecked, or was it, like, shot at? Like, can we determine any of that shit?
With your investigation, as you're kind of looking over the hull, looking at the splinters here, it does not look like it was shot down or anything. The ship looks like it was... There's splintering and whatnot, but there are not holes of anything being shot through it. By whatever means, it seems to have been torn apart without being shot apart, if that makes sense. Korok, what are you doing?
Next to this dead body, I was just trying to see what he's doing, what he's got on him.
Just hanging out with the dead.
Just robes. Looks like whatever happened here caught them unprepared. They didn't have any gear or anything on them. Bravia, what'd you find in that chest, buddy?
I'm looking at it in coded thought.
Oh, did you find someone's thought that it was encoded already?
Oh shit.
Hey.
Gotta unlock it somehow.
Ah.
Does anybody know the encode thought spell?
Oh, doesn't someone have the decode thought?
Do you mean like the spell scroll?
Yeah.
Let's see, I've got Blade Ward, Create, Air Distress Beacon, and Fear. And then let me check this one other place and see if it's there.
Alright, it's me. I found
It's
it.
you? Okay, it's not me.
You cast it. The memory depicts a conversation between the captain of the now destroyed vessel and a shadowy figure speaking through some sort of astral projection. Let me put on spooky music. What progress have you made towards the fragment taking from Olorix?
We have tracked it to Viturn, still in the possession of the Vortex Vipers. We are currently en route. We have also discovered that meddlesome group currently possesses 2 keys in addition to three of the fragments. It does not appear that they are aware of the purpose of the keys.
Then their continued pursuit of the fragments may work in our favor then. The 2 keys we already possess have been moved to Keter, outside the reach of any divination magics and far beyond where any ships pass.
Shall we return there once we retrieve the fragment from Viturn?
No. Once the fragment is secured, head to Oleon. Our scouts report that another key lies in the depths of the ancient ruins there.
Forgive my insolence, but why have the scouts not retrieved it themselves?
We lost contact with them roughly a month ago. They reported a run-in with a member of the Brotherhood, though it is unlikely that they were dispatched by a lone hermit. The dark whispers suggest that a powerful guardian protects the key there, and it is likely that the cause of their disappearance.
Would it not be wise to send Pennant to deal with that threat?
You forget your place, sister. It is not for you to question the Master's plans.
Forgive me, my lord.
But you are correct. Pennant is otherwise occupied with locating a key believed to be on Behance in the hands of Blackfist.
I thought Blackfist was eliminated by one of his toy soldiers.
Indeed he was. His return is what leads us to suspect that he holds the key of life. These are concerns of stations higher than yours. Your task is to retrieve the fragment you pursue. Complete this, and you may be elevated to a position where you are privy to such things.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord. I will not fail you. I will not fail the Risen.
See that you do not. Vrepitsa.
Vrepitsa.
And then the memory ends.
It's interesting that they said Vrepitsa.
Do we know that word?
Yes, we do. Because Vrepitsa was it was mentioned in a thing that was recovered near Auroria from this cultist outpost. It was also a decoded chest.
Tycho, you notice, because it's very hard to miss, the goldfish is whacked aside as from out of a thick patch of aether, a creature large and terrifying, a kraken, an astral kraken, rears its ugly head.
Oh, loud.
As you see this occur, Tycho, it whacks the ship aside and then dives back into and disappears into a puff of the cloud.
Oh shit.
Ooh, the boss is here! Even though that doesn't mean anything because most of you can't see it.
I need to go towards the distress signal. Can it be reasoned with?
You should try.
Furiosa, roll nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make this thing an ally.
Okay, totally.
Furiosa, you've never personally encountered a kraken. Tycho has heard plenty of tales, though. Krakens are, in fact, not to be reasoned with. They're to be avoided at all costs. They're the scourge of the ethereal seas. Oh, it generated randomly it as a velvety kraken. I don't love that. This particular species, the velvet kraken, is particularly dangerous. It's known to live and troll the waters in the tumult, where it can pick prey easily from within the dense, roiling clouds of ether there. To answer Korok's question, no, it cannot be reasoned with.
Like goes like,
The beast screeches and reels back and summons forth a storm. All of you guys roll a dexterity saving throw. Korok and Vraviel take 13 lightning damage, and Lynx takes 6. And as the thunder cracks, as it be cracking, and the lightning be striking, we have to ask ourselves, what will become of our heroes? How will they defeat this fearsome foe? Find out on the next exciting episode of the Tales from Tenrei. Like, share, subscribe, comment, donate. Thank you. Little cool world building thing that I had to hash out because I was like, why is it snowing on Tenrei? So, Tenrei sits in an arcane flow, as I'm sure you all remember. Arcane flows are large strands of like magic. There's an ebb and flow to the levels or types of that magic. Sometimes there is more cold, less fire, more earth, less air, that sort of thing. When it is snowing, there's less fire and more cold, which also explains how rain and sunshine and stuff happens. Because I was like, there's no way the artificial environment would be like, oh, it's time for snow or whatever. So that is why weather happens.